All right, this is a Cuisinart fully automatic burr, grind, and brew coffee maker. The model number, DGB-700BC. And the carafe on this was given away on Buy Nothing, and I asked the person who had it if, instead of recycling it, if I could try to fix it. And they were nice enough to accommodate me and make sure I had all the parts and all that stuff. So that's what we're going to try to do. From what I understand, the issue with this is, well, there's actually two things. First, there is a little valve that's normally located here that allows you to take out the carafe while the coffee is brewing, and it turns off the flow of coffee and actually holds it while you get a cup of coffee, if you can't wait till it's done brewing the cup. So it's a little spring-loaded thing that appears not to be present. Well, it's gone. So the other problem with this, though, is the grinder. From what I understand, it would make a lot of noise but wouldn't actually grind. And so what I'm going to do, there's all kinds of safety interlocks on this that need to be in place for the grinder to run. The basket needs to be in place. This needs to be in place. It needs to be in the right position. So we'll get all that set up. See if we can turn that on. So it's making some noise. Sounds a little wonky. There's some, sounds as if there may be some coffee grounds in the top up here. So I'm going to turn it over and get those out, and then see what we're dealing with. There's a couple little things that stick out here on the bin, and when that's in place, it allows us to operate. This won't operate without the bin in place normally. But what we want to do is we want to observe this impeller here. We want to make sure that that's turning, because the report was that maybe the gears were stripped, or for some reason or other this wasn't grinding coffee. If that spins, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to grind coffee, but it'll be a good start towards this thing not being just plain old broken. If that doesn't spin at all and the motor comes on, then there's something else going on inside and we'll have to open it up. So otherwise, if this does spin, then we'll get some beans and see if we can get it to grind them, because we don't want to take this apart if we don't have to. So when that little pin I just showed you on the cover actually presses down a mechanism here that has a safety switch in it, so I'm going to make believe I'm the cover, and then I'm going to turn this on. So it sounds as if that's working. It's spinning just fine. And whether or not it'll grind beans, totally separate story. But for right now, it looks like it's coming on. I'm going to turn it down to one of the smaller settings, like 4 cups, just to see if maybe that was affected what it was happening here, and see if it works on the lower settings as well. Okay, so the timer did go off in a lesser period of time, and I do feel boiler heat coming on. I'm not going to let it continue to go because it might overheat if I run it without any water in it. But it goes without saying that the looks like the burr grinder is indeed spinning. So while I was working on this and working on just cleaning it up, I was brushing around, kind of cleaning out the hopper here and all that. I did open up the bin and remove this so that the only thing under the bin right now is just the filter and not this geared thing. And so in the process of doing that, I was trying to figure out what this was for. I opened this little door here and I was brushing around that, and in the process of doing that I snapped this guy back and forth together, and these came out of these pieces came out of the grind chamber. So they came out of right here, and that would clearly be enough to keep beans from coming through. I'm going to drop them into the hopper. That's what this does, by the way. This lever lets stuff fall down into the hopper, unless of course this is in a position that keeps that from happening. And I don't fully understand what this thing does, although I do see that there's some rubber gasket here that's gone for whatever reason. I'm not sure what that was. I might have to look that up. If nothing else, I'll probably kind of clean that up, and then we'll figure out if it's absolutely necessary. We could have a little bit of fun here before we do that. So I am going to satisfy the safety, hold that open, and I'm going to start the grind up and see what comes out of that hole. All right. Oh, that was fun. Okay. So apparently now it is blowing I guess the pump is now able, or the grinder is now able to blow grounds. We cleared the obstruction. Is it just it just kind of blew grounds all just kind of blew grounds all over the place. I'm going to turn it on again with this little door closed and let it blow some grounds out. My guess is I cleared the obstruction that was causing the original issue. Now all I need to do is figure out how and if I want to solve the, I'll call it the grab a cup issue with that little spring and stopper missing from the hopper. Stay tuned. Okay, I'm circling back to finish the session on this Cuisinart burr grind and brew coffee maker. Just finishing up, we did find that there was a plug in there. We eliminated that. This lid has a small crack on it, and I'm gonna glue that up and make sure that the new owner knows about it. We found a carafe. Somebody graciously volunteered that while we were in the process of talking about trying to save the coffee maker itself. It's funny how things come together. The little nozzle that shuts off coffee when you want to grab a cup and it's in the middle of brewing has been replaced. I was able to find one of those. And then finally, this gasket here is a little torn up. What that does is make sure that the grounds go in the hopper as opposed to maybe going around the edge here. I don't know that it's a showstopper. These are available if somebody wants to do that in the future, but for now I'm going to leave that the way it is and just make sure the new owner is aware of it. So, having said that, this is ready to go find its new home through the cooperation of a couple of kind people on Buy Nothing. And after giving them the choice to take it back if they want it, if the original owners don't want it, then I will make it available to someone else as the new owner. Thanks everybody for playing. It's really been a hoot. I'll see you next time.